I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him.
Melania Trump's $100 million lawsuit against The View isn't just another celebrity drama. It's a cultural flashpoint that's sparking major debates about media ethics, public image, and where we draw the line between free speech and defamation. The drama began on a regular episode of The View, the infamous talk show known for its fiery discussions and unapologetic hosts. What started as a routine conversation about Donald Trump's presidency quickly shifted into a deeper dive into Melania's personal life. That's when things took a sharp turn. The hosts didn't just share opinions, they made bold, inflammatory claims. According to Melania's legal team, these statements were not just false, but malicious.
She hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly.
Before we dive deeper into this case, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on all the latest Hollywood news. The hosts went as far as saying that Melania didn't want to be First Lady, hated Christmas, and couldn't bear to sleep in the same room as her husband. They accused her of destroying the Rose Garden and suggested she was nothing more than an unwilling participant in her husband's political circus. Allegedly.
He was cheating while Melania was pregnant.
That was all. That's not going to come in front of the jury, though. The judge has ruled that won't come up.
We're on television now. And then after Melania gave birth to the baby, he found Stormy to strip around with, right?
Yeah.
It's like people should look at him and say, you know, what kind of an insecure jerk are you? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my wife's pregnant, I'm not attracted to her big belly or something, and now she's paying attention to the baby and not...
These weren't casual remarks. They were delivered with such certainty that they blurred the line between opinion and fact. What really made this segment explosive wasn't just the content, it was the tone. These remarks didn't come across as constructive criticism or thoughtful analysis. Instead, they were laced with ridicule, as though the hosts were reveling in the chance to mock someone they assumed would never push back. But pushback she did, just not in the way they might have expected.
His wife has different thoughts on the reproductive rights after posting this video plugging her memoir. Take a look.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth. Individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
To understand why this controversy is hitting such a nerve, we need to take a closer look at Melania's public persona. Unlike her husband, who thrives in the spotlight, Melania has worked hard to maintain an image of quiet dignity. She rarely gives interviews, stays out of public feuds, and values her privacy, something that's unusual for someone in her position. This reserved approach has made her somewhat of an enigma. While some admire her for staying above the fray, others are quick to fill in the gaps with their own assumptions. And that's exactly what happened on The View. When Melania doesn't actively shape her own narrative, others do it for her. In this case, the hosts painted a picture of her as bitter, disengaged, and trapped in a life she never wanted.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth. Individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
And this take is pretty shocking.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
Wow. I mean, that is violent. They've got to stop talking like that about a former president who's had 2 assassination attempts. I mean, that's just ignorant.
For Melania, this wasn't just an attack on her character. It was a direct threat to the image she's carefully cultivated over the years. In today's social media age where narratives can spread instantly, the potential for reputational damage is enormous. So she decided to take action on her response? A $100 million defamation lawsuit. A bold move that sent a strong message. She's not backing down. Her legal team argues that the statements made by The View hosts weren't just false, but intentionally harmful. They claim these remarks weren't careless, they were part of a deliberate attempt to damage her reputation. Winning a defamation case is notoriously difficult, especially for public figures, who tantalizingly revealed the nature of his intentions when confronted with the statements that they made. Melania will need to prove not just that the statements were false, but also that they caused real malice. This means demonstrating that the hosts either knew their comments were false or acted recklessly with disregard for the truth. It's a tough challenge, but the stakes couldn't be higher. If she wins, it could set a new precedent, forcing media outlets and talk shows to think twice before making potentially damaging statements about public figures. However, if she loses, it could embolden her critics and send a message that public figures are fair game, no matter how harsh the criticism.
She'd just be her own woman and have separate.
And she can.
And so why all that criticism? I mean, that was gross from The View. And look, The View is not the litmus test of America. We don't think that.
They were afraid of that remark. That was their problem.
So why did...
Let's take a moment to consider The View itself. The show has built its reputation as a platform for bold opinions and lively debates. It's a space where no topic is off limits, and the hosts are encouraged to speak their minds, no matter how controversial. For its fans, The View is a breath of fresh air, a space where women can tackle politics, culture, and current events without holding back. For its critics, it's a breeding ground for unchecked bias and sensationalism. The show has faced backlash many times for its hosts' comments, and this isn't the first time it's been accused of crossing the line. What makes the Melania lawsuit different is the potential fallout. A $100 million judgment wouldn't just hurt the hosts, it could deal a significant financial blow to the network itself. Such a ruling could force The View to reconsider its approach, potentially leading to stricter editorial guidelines and a more cautious tone. For a show that thrives on controversy, that would mark a massive shift.
But in the Trump era, if any other national Republican candidate running for president, if their spouse came out and said, I am pro-choice and I even support late-term abortion, their career would be over. But it underscores the hypocrisy with Trump and that just nothing matters within the Republican Party at this point. I think it's twofold. I agree. I think it's strategic, even though it was written a while ago. I think they think this is going to give Republicans permission or independence to be like, oh, I guess I could vote for him because people who support abortion can. But it's also money. Who was going to buy this book outside of MAGA diehards? But now it's buzzy. Now we're talking about it because she's putting some stuff out there that's
among the many allegations made on The View, the claim that Melania hates Christmas has become one of the most talked about. On the surface, it may seem like a small issue, but it actually speaks to a much larger cultural debate. Christmas isn't just a holiday, it's a symbol of family, tradition, and shared cultural values. To accuse someone of hating Christmas is, in essence, questioning their character and their place within those values. For Melania, who served as First Lady and represented the United States on the world stage, such an accusation carries even more weight. The Christmas claim also highlights a bigger issue: how public figures are perceived and judged. Melania has long been criticized for being distant and disengaged, and this claim fits neatly into that narrative. But is it fair to judge someone's entire character based on a single comment or rumor? That's one of the core questions driving this controversy.
Such vile comments, but they are exactly what The View's audience loves. It's targeted perfectly at a radically feminist, liberal audience that loves hate. Another now. This is loving and tolerant rhetoric the left uses, which they accuse the opposing side of using. And this one, those women are a danger to America. They do more than anyone else to stoke political and social tensions. The former president says he thinks his wife should...
As with many issues in the Trump era, public opinion on this lawsuit is sharply divided. For Melania's supporters, the lawsuit is a necessary stand against a media culture that often oversteps its bounds. They see it as a way to hold powerful platforms accountable and assert that even public figures deserve respect and dignity. For her critics, it's seen as an overreaction, an attempt to silence her detractors and control the narrative. They argue that, as a public figure, Melania should expect scrutiny, even if that scrutiny veers into speculation. This case also reflects larger cultural tensions. On one side, there's a growing demand for media accountability, the belief that platforms like The View should be fair and accurate in their commentary. On the other, there's concern that lawsuits like this could have a chilling effect on free speech, discouraging media outlets from taking risks or challenging powerful figures.
Listen, take him seriously and take him literally.
I don't think that we have to. I think it would be remiss of us to not say Joe Biden knows how to do this.
Yes.
He knows how to do this. He's quite good at this. And you know, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean...
He rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
But can I mention one thing?
At its heart, this case is about more than just Melania Trump or The View. It's about the evolving role of media in an increasingly polarized world. In an era where a single comment can go viral within seconds, the stakes for media personalities have never been higher. But with that power comes great responsibility. The question is, are platforms like The View living up to that responsibility?
Most about your husband. His humor, his personality, his kindness, he's very special. His positivity, his energy, it's unbelievable. So we have a beautiful relationship.
Melania's lawsuit forces us to grapple with some uncomfortable truths about modern media. Where do we draw the line between opinion and defamation? Should talk show hosts be held to the same standards as journalists? How do we balance free speech with the need for accountability? These are tough questions, and the outcome of this case could set a new precedent. If Melania wins, it could signal a shift toward greater media accountability. If she loses, it could reinforce the idea that public figures are open to even the harshest scrutiny. This lawsuit is more than just a celebrity feud. It's a cultural battle that challenges us to reconsider how we discuss public figures in the media. Whether you see it as a fight for justice or a publicity stunt, one thing is certain. This is a story that has everyone talking, and it's far from over. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.